What's up, comic book peeps? Is Detroit Madman, and check it out. I got my Wednesday pickups today, but I had a couple days off after Stockton this week, just kind of lounging as summer winds up here. So I did a couple hauls. I did a Sunday haul. I did a Monday haul. Took Tuesday off from comic collecting, and did my Wednesday pickups today. Well, I only picked up like 4 or 5 books today, so I noticed a huge influx of Spider-Man books at my local shop. They pretty much have 5 or 6 long boxes of just Spider-Man now, and it's stuffed. I mean, you got to pull a stack out just to move other stuff around. So they really did a good job of backfilling after their major sales they had this summer. And I talked to one of the guys, and they said they've bought so many collections this summer that we're talking several hundred long boxes of good collections, and so they had to get 2 storage units outside of what they can store at both of their locations to store the comics. So as they get those graded and out to the floor, and the Roseville location they're great. They have a full booth where they grade everything, and I mean there's probably 20 long boxes of stuff in there right now, and another 8 to 10 short boxes of things they've been working on. And when I saw the Spider-Man stacks, that all their long boxes of Spider-Man that were sorted and ready to go, I just dove in, and there's some stuff I've been wanting to get with Web of and Spectacular, and it was so picked through earlier, and it was so low on my priority list I didn't even mess with it, but I definitely got a chance to do that today. So but first off, I'll talk about the new books I got. Wednesday pickups this week consisted of Batman 43. I have not read this yet, even though it's on my pull list. I picked up issue 15, as you'll see, and then I think I have from 17 all the way to 43, pretty much every issue. Might be a few in there I need, but it's just too expensive to get the first few issues of Batman. I'd rather spend that money on vintage comics in Silver Age and not a couple $100 on a New 52 Batman. So I think if I read from the second or third storyline up, I actually really want to read from the second storyline up. So if I can read from like issue 12 up, then I can get maybe a trade of the first of that Court of Owls or whatever story and be complete on it. But everybody tells me you got to do it. So at any rate, I got that. It's a cool looking cover. Obviously, you don't know what's inside, so can't speak to that. Next up, I was stoked to see Rebels number 5 out this week. It's a period comic about America's founding and militia battles and things like that. If you're a history buff, you'll definitely love this comic series. And like I said, it's on issue 5 now, and it's pretty easy to find. I think a few different comic shops around me have issues going back to maybe the first couple, so check it out if you get a chance. Next up, super happy to see that Star of number 3 is out. First 2 issues of this, just a funky feel, totally different story than you would expect like a comic book to be based about. But I guess there's a lot of comic books like that nowadays, and so I'm enjoying these stories. And this one's getting real funky, and the artwork's completely different. The sequences in this I really like the way that the artist put them together. So I'm going to be reading this tonight after this video. Next up, picked up the Lando issue number 2. This isn't probably something I'll stay on very long. I don't know how many issues of this they have planned, but it was enough in the first one, which I just picked up because I was like, okay, Star Wars Lando number 1, I'm going to pick that up. But I read it, so the story got me enough interested to pick up issue 2. Here it is. Who knows if I'll stick around for issue 3. And here's my favorite comic of the week, and that's Harrow County. I can't wait for this to come out when it comes out. Artwork is so haunting, and the story's just kind of freaky, and it just keeps getting freakier. So definitely, if you see one of these at the shop and you haven't read it yet, just look through it and see if it's something for you. I'm not a horror or suspense guy in any sense of the word, but something about the artwork and the vibe of this book really drew me in, and I'm loving it. Next up, this is a book from last week, and I read on a couple of websites and listened to a podcast, and then I go into the comic shop. It's like a staff pick, so I decided to get it. It's Dark Corridor number 1 by Image Comics, and I believe it has something to do with the mob, and it's supposed to be an ongoing series going forward. So check that out if you get a chance. Leaf through it if you can at your shop. And I did this, and I didn't see like too much of the mob inside of it, so I don't know if it's setting up a backstory or whatever, or maybe the pages I looked at just didn't catch it right. So next up, okay, so this is the rest of today's haul and a few books here. I've got some eBay books that came in over the last couple of days, and then I've got my Sunday and Monday hauls over here. So first up, I've been dying to do a haul on some Web of Spider-Man and some Spectacular Spider-Man. I've had a bunch of issues on my list forever, and so I have my list on my phone. I said I saw all those issues they filled, and so I said I'm going to dig. The condition on these is really ripe, and these are not expensive comics to find. I think I picked these up for $1 to $2 each, and They're just little key issues in the timeline of these two series of Spider-Man. The first up here is issue 81. It's the origin and first appearance of Bloodshed. So I thought it was kind of a cool looking cover. Yeah, so issue 81, first appearance of Bloodshed. Next up, issue 86, and this is the first appearance of Demo Goblin. Another nice looking cover. I saw a lot of covers I really liked, but I wanted to stick to comics I had on the list. Next up, issue 107. It is there's a Sandman appearance. There's a Sand something else. I don't know who that is. And then there's there's a first appearance of Sandstorm in this book. So pick that one up. Next up, I picked up issue number 128. It's an okay looking cover. There's actually a lot of action in this book. There's some decent art. It's not the greatest. I'm not a huge fan of some of the art in this book, but you got a Daredevil appearance, and then you have the first appearance of Black Cat in her new costume. I don't think that costume stuck because it's ugly as you know what. And but at any rate, I picked it up. It was like $1.50, something like that, and it was on my list. All right, so next up, this is where I got confused because I was trying to figure this out. So issue 36 is March of '88. Issue 130, that's Web of Spider-Man. Issue 138 of Spectacular Spider-Man is May of '88. This comic, which came out a couple months before this comic, has the first appearance of Tombstone in it. If you look in here, you clearly see, where is he? Clearly see Tombstone, and that's his first appearance in comics. Or is it, right? Because the guide that I have, and I looked through it extensively, just doesn't make any mention of it whatsoever. But I saw on the website that it says Web of Spider-Man, issue 36, first appearance of Tombstone. And then I saw an asterisk, and then it said, but most people consider, and the guides consider, Spectacular Spider-Man, issue 138, the first full appearance of Tombstone. So I'm confused by all that. Maybe you guys could clarify why that is, or whatever. Why like 5 panels of Tombstone doesn't count as a first appearance. But it has a decent Tarantula story in it. I've already looked through both of these a lot today when I got home. And then you have, what do you got here? You got 1, 2, 3. So you got 5 panels of Tombstone there. And you got 3 panels of Tombstone there. And so one has like 5 panels and one has like 9 panels or something like that. But at any rate, got those for a couple of bucks, so I was stoked about that. And next up, this is cool. This is Sensational Spider-Man, Marvel Tales, issue 192. It's a double-sized comic, and I wish I would have left this one out of the plastic. It actually has both issues for the Gwen Stacy death. I think it's 122 issue Spider-Man. Is it 121 and 122 or 122 and 123? I think it's 121 and 122. So you get both of those in that comic. And I looked through this comic. It was really cool. Okay, next up, you get Peter Parker Spider-Man, issue number 60. This is actually an origin retell issue. And what it is they redo the origin from Amazing Fantasy 15. And they added panels to the story, such as... he fights some thugs to discover he has all these abilities, and then there's some other shit with Uncle Ben I can't remember, but so I got that for $1, which I thought was a good deal. And then I saw this. I don't think this is a significant issue. I could be wrong. It wasn't on my list, but I saw how beautiful this cover looked when I was going through the comics, and with the Wolverine on it, man, that's awesome. So I picked that up, a couple bucks. Same with this. I didn't have it on my list, but I had the next couple. Actually, no, this is one I just saw. It was Sabretooth with the black costume, so I picked that one up. That was a couple bucks. And then this one here I had on my list. And then as I was going through, so I picked this one up. It was a great Punisher cover, issue 141. I saw this, and it's Tombstone holding Spidey over traffic. I was like, yeah, that one's kind of sick. So I grabbed 142, and then as I grabbed that one, I saw issue 143, and it was another Punisher cover, and I was really like, holy shit, I can't even believe it. He's holding a gun to Spider-Man. I have to get this one. You know, once you see that cover right there, you got to get that. So I just kept going. So I got issue 141, 42, and then 143. And then Peter Parker, I saw this, man. This I can't believe how much this book's for. It's like guide has this comic like, I don't know, like $30 or something. And here I am with this. I'm looking at this pristine copy, and I was like, man, if I'm gonna get serious about this, this is definitely one. And I thought it was priced right for $9.90. It's so beautiful. I said, you know what? I'm gonna grab that. And then I had the annual #1 on my list, and they had that there. And so I got this for a good price. And that's a really cool cover. I really like that cover. So I was stoked about that. Beautiful shape. But man, if you're gonna get serious, you got to be a baller. And I just went for it. Check this out. How nice is that? That's how you do it. So that was the last book I purchased today. And it's just, man, that is a cover. Really, really nice shape. I would say, I'm not a grader. I wouldn't even say. I'd say what, 8, 5, 9, 0. I don't know. But all I know is that looks sick. So that does it for today's haul. And now, what do I have next here? Okay, so I went back to, okay, there's my eBay stuff. I went back to my 40% shop. All right, so let the camera adjust. Sorry about that. So I got Machine Man #2, 40% off of $1, decent shape. Machine Man #3, decent shape, 40% off, 60 cents. Can't go wrong with that, huh? Machine Man #4, another cool looking cover, 40% off of $1. I just got this for the cover. I don't think there's nothing significant. And this comic's not in that great a shape. It's got some fading on the top. But I got this for like $1.20. So from about 98% down, the cover looks great, but then you got that crazy fade for the top centimeter. So I was stoked about that. And then I haven't seen this in a while. It actually, when I dug it out, it was familiar to me. I think I might have had it when I was a kid. And that is the issue #1, the Falcon from the 4-issue limited. And I got that for a couple bucks. And then issue #2, which I actually like the cover on also. But I didn't find issue 3 or 4. I got this one for $2. Next up, again, I'm just digging at this point. You know, when I find a $2 comic, I know I'm only going to pay like $1.25 for it or whatever I'm going to pay. And I like the cover on this. I just thought, you know, it's just one of those things. It's got, I don't know what the deal is with Machine Man for me lately or whatever, but I think that's Machine Man down there. And then, yeah, it is Machine Man. And then the Thing and Ultron, Jocasta. So I was like, I'm just going to grab that one. Found some more Deadpool. Got Merc with a Mouth, issue #5. And I think these cost the $4 before 40% off. I don't know, these are like 2 something. And then I got Deadpool Merc with a Mouth #3. And that was marked $4. So I got that for a couple bucks. I've never seen this before. It's Deadpool Team Up. It says issue 899, but I mean, I don't know what's up with the numbering on some of these. Can't imagine this is issue 899 of anything. But maybe it is. I don't know. At any rate, it was a couple bucks. Is it anything Deadpool for a couple bucks? Dug out Harley Quinn Convergence #2 for a couple of bucks. And then, oh man, I was so stoked to see these for 40% off of cover, basically, or almost cover. So I got Suicide Squad New 52 #2. Pretty wicked cover. Suicide Squad New 52 issue 3. Joker's daughter and Harley Quinn. Actually, they're both on this one too. So I got that for a couple bucks. That was 40% off $3.50. All these are 40% off $3.50. So the Suicide Squad 5, Suicide Squad 6, 2 copies they had. I picked them up. Suicide Squad 7, 40% off $3.50. And then, of course, after just buying this on Saturday for $7, I find one in the miscellaneous G's and not M's at that shop for 40% off $4. But honestly, this one has, this one obviously isn't in the condition. The other one I got was gem mint, so I wasn't going to pass it up. I've seen how hard these things are to find, and a couple bucks for it, definitely worth it. I'll give it to my brother. I got 2 copies of Punisher War Journal #1. They're like decent shape. I like the cover. I think it's a good price at $4. I think I paid $4 for them, so I'm not gonna complain. Not gonna complain about that. I got this for. This one was marked $4. I changed the bag because the bag was just horrific. You could barely see through the bag. But he had $4 on it, so I got this one for $2. The cover is almost fully detached from it, but I needed issue number 22 for my Silver Age Daredevil, and geez, for $2 is definitely worth it. This one this one I was kind of happy to find because I've never heard of this title before. Even though when I saw the cover it looked familiar, but I mean a lot of covers kind of looked like this back in the day. But it's Dead of Night by Marvel. It's in really nice shape. He had $4 on it. It's a Dead of Night #1, and I mean you can see the shape. It's really good. So yeah, like $2.50 or whatever. Pretty cool. I haven't looked that one up yet. Found another Strange Tales 178. This one has other issues. The first one I got had it was kind of like worn here, which I thought was the bag. This one also has where it's kind of worn on the side. The spine's not in any way ripped or shredded or anything like that, but it does have some discoloration on the spine, like something was rubbing up against this book in an odd fashion. So, but for $2, I'm not going to pass this up any day. All right, so that did it for that haul. Next up, this is comics from a small comic shop that I go to every once in a while. The guy does have a lot of key comics, but it's so hard to dig in there because he doesn't have the shop really set up for back issues. It's kind of all cramped in a real small space. He shares the space. It's one building, but it used to be a Carl's Jr., I think, and then they evicted Carl's Jr. and they put a wall down the middle of it, of the inside, and one side's a restaurant and he's got the other side. So this is what I got there. He turned me on to this. This is a series called Enormous, and he actually gave me these copies out of his own personal stash after a long conversation I had with him about some other stuff. These aren't the first issues. These are just the ones that he was willing to sell me. And it's a pretty interesting looking book. And I think it might have been picked up for some kind of series or something. I'm not 100% sure on that. The artwork did intrigue me. So I have issue 5 from the first series. And then he gave me these for cover. Then I've got issue 6 from the first series. Again, this is really wild looking. Crazy, awesome art inside this book. And then this one is issue 1 from the second series. And they called it, I think, year 2 or season 2 on here. And again, it's got that haunting, crazy artwork. And I've really been getting into this type of stuff lately. So I was grateful for him to reach into his back room and pull out some stuff he was talking about for me. But so I started digging into some of his boxes, and I got this. He had a $5 price tag on this. It has a rip on the back cover, but it's, on the front it looks pretty good. It's a Joker cover, and this is like how I want them, crunchy and cheap. And I've been trying to get all these old Joker covers that I can find on the when they're affordable, and this was one of them. So $5 for that. And actually, he might have taken another $1 off of this because when I brought all these books to the checkout, I said, "Hey, are the prices here the best you can do?" And he goes, "I'll take a little off." And I noticed he rang everything up $1 cheaper, so I got that one for $4. I got this one for $2. It's Marvel Age 91, and I like that Thanos cover. These Marvel Ages are kind of cool. I picked one up a couple weeks ago just because it had the Black Spider-Man in it. Lo and behold, that thing goes for bank. I can't even believe it, man. So, I mean, this one doesn't, but I like the cover on it, so I got that one. Got this for cover price. Suicide Squad #8, New 52. Suicide Squad #9, got that for $2.99. Got that Joker variant. #10. And then I found this in his back issues, and he had a $5 price tag on it. He gave me it for $4, which is cover price basically. And I didn't have this, so Batman New 52, number 17. This is just a crazy cover. The Joker on there. That face is so freaky. It's I think he's wearing a mask of his own face. And then I got this for cover price. It's the Joker's Daughter New 52 one-shot. It's a Batman book, and it's called Madness Lurks. So that'll be a interesting read. I'm going to actually save that out of here so I can read it. This is Joker's Daughter number 1. I'm not really sure, honestly, what this is, but it's got Batman Dark Knight in the background. It's issue 23.4, and then it has Joker's Daughter number 1 scribbled on top of it. He had $8 on it. I paid $7. Oh, shit, I didn't even see that. Batman's behind her, chained up. And she's got that mask of Joker on, which isn't that Joker's face that he cut off. I'm not up on it. I'm trying to piece things I've heard together before, so I think that's a good deal on this. I want to say I've seen that for more. And then look what I pulled out of his boxes. I couldn't believe it. He had 2 Silver Surfer 44s. I've had this on my list forever. I haven't been fortunate enough to find it in dollar boxes or 50-cent boxes. And every single comic shop and dealer that I've dug through their Silver Surfer, this is always missing. So, and then I hit 2 of them. He's got $8 on them. He's had these priced since September of 2014. Nobody's bought them, and it's kind of surprising to me because he was telling me that he gets guys through all the time. They're just looking through for key issues. So, but I was happy to see these in there, and I got them for $7 a piece. So I jumped on them, and then boom, I found this in there, and he had $15 on it. But he had $15 on this, and so he gave it to me for 14, and I jumped on it. And this is another one of those issues where I look for this every time I'm at a place that has Batman Family separated, and I get into the back issues. This one's never there, and so I was so stoked to find it. And yeah, I got it for $14. I thought that was a good deal. And then so one little other treasure I got in there. So the guy he was dealing with, he was buying comics off of. It was the guy's like, I need some money, and I looked down in this bin, and the stuff that wasn't bought was like a bunch of paperbacks, and the guy was telling me he's got like 40 issues of some hacker magazine in there, and he doesn't want to sell those. But I'm like, dude, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. So he's like, you want it? It's $1. I'm like, hell yeah, I'll take that for $1. So I'm kind of stoked about that. This is the same exact book that I had when I was in like middle school. It's a 1979 pocket book paperback. And I had the same exact book when I was like, 12, 13 years old. So I gladly gave him $1. I asked the shop owner, I said, do you care if I buy it? He's like, hell no. I was like, all right, here's $1. So I was kind of stoked about picking that up. And then, so here's the shit that came in off of eBay. For my Marvel Milestones, I picked up the Tomb of Dracula with the first appearance of Blade. It also has Adventure into Fear number 16 in this, which is Man-Thing. And then it's got Vampires number 2, which is Satana. So I looked through this, man. This book is freaking wicked. The artwork, man, for those of you who actually have this comic, I'm definitely jealous because Blade, the first appearance of Blade is a badass comic. like the whole comic itself, the story, the artwork in it I really love. So I was stoked about that. And I got this, I won this for $5 shipped, which is perfect. I'm down to only a few of those needed, man. Next up, I paid too much for this, I think. But it's one of those things, I was in a bidding war, and I was sitting at dinner with the family, and I was like, okay, I'll put one last bid on this, and yeah, so I won it for $10 shipped. I think it was $10 shipped. Anytime you get into double digits on these 90s or late 80s, or I think this is 90s comics, you're probably in paying too much territory. But this one is gem mint, the silver variant, bagged, and the bag even looks like it's brand new, so what the hell, it's only money. And then next up, I was bidding on these. This is Amazing Spider-Man 289, and I thought I was placing a bid on one, which was the retail, and then I actually placed my higher bid on the non-retail version, which when it came I was actually happier because this one's in better condition, so I won them both. So now I have 2 Amazing Spider-Man Hobgoblin revealed special double-sized issues. I love the cover. It's just a kind of a creepy, iconic cover. As far as I'm concerned, I definitely remember it when it came out, and I don't remember too many comics from when I was in high school. But yeah, so I got both versions of that, and I probably paid too much, so oh well. You can't win them all. But check this out. Copy number 2 in the last 5 days. And this is definitely not in the condition that my first one is in. But man, you won't believe what I paid for this. This is one of those like no-brainer in a million years what I paid for this. And it's a fine. So it's mid, high, maybe fine plus. It's higher mid-grade. I don't know, something like that. But yeah, just put it this way. If you were to take a couple people to McDonald's and buy them a Big Mac, I got it for less than that. What your bill would be total. So unbelievable. Completely front and back, side to side, no problems. So yeah, awesome. Hoo-hoo. But here's the pickup of the week for me. Definitely, I've been trying to get this for a while. And this is the Batman Adventures coloring book with the appearance of Harley Quinn in it. It's just a sexy book, man. And the Harley Quinn inside predates the Batman Adventures 12. Does this really count as anything? Probably not. The price I got it for is less than it goes for, I'll tell you that much. And it's beautiful. Every single page in this is in really nice condition, so I'm stoked about that. I have been keeping up my Suicide Squad speculation, and I just want to show you something sexy. Before I go, since the haul's done, check this out. So I've been getting good deals on these, right? So these are the worst ones I've pulled out. Not bad, huh? Now check this out. Nice. Like, these are like CGC, guys. When do you want me to stop? So, at any rate, that's my speculation of the summer book. And I'm ready to roll. I think if that movie just blows up and this gets any traction whatsoever, I'll be sitting pretty on it. But I'm sitting pretty on it so much right now that, the guide says 75 for near mint. These are all 9.2 or better. I guarantee it. And you wouldn't even believe it. I mean, there is not a single tick on the spine of 10 books I just showed you. And they're all supple and beautiful. Oh, you know what? I might as well just show you these since I got them here. I hit the 25-cent bin the other day. But first I got a couple of dollar books. I picked that up. I've been trying to show these for a few hauls now. Picked this up for $1. I just love the cover. Marvel Saga number 24. Picked this up for $1. It's Amazing Spider-Man Annual number 39, and has a cool cover, but inside is just dog crap. I picked this up for $1. It's called Deadpool Core number 1, and the inside of this book was dog crap too. I didn't like it at all. And then I picked these up for $0.25 at A1 the other day in Auburn. They have like 3 long boxes of these type of books. I don't know if it's just some overflow from a collection they didn't feel like bagging, because all of these were not bagged when I got them. But I just like the cover on this. I got this for $0.25. I got a Sandman number 62 for $0.25. I got The Adventures of the Mask number 1 for $0.25. I got Tales from the Con issue number 1 for $0.25. Adolescent Radioactive Black Belt Hamsters book 1 from Eclipse Comics. I know nothing about this. For $0.25. I got some 90s sexiness refractor Wildcat book. And then I got Airboy 1, 2, and 3. And then check this out. I got Master of Kung Fu. I just like the cover on. There was a whole bunch of Master of Kung Fu in there, and I have some from when I was a kid, and I didn't have a list with me or anything like that, so I didn't want to go crazy and grab a bunch. I'll say let somebody else who wants some have them, but I never remembered this cover. It's just cool with the speeding car in the back and the action on the cover, so I grabbed that one. And it might be. It says introducing Zarin, so I don't know if it's a first appearance of him. At any rate, it was a quarter comic, but this one was a trip. Evil Knievel, presented by Marvel and Ideal. An exclusive Evil Knievel comic. The Perilous Traps of Mr. Danger. I gotta tell you, the comic was pretty cool. It's not a full-size comic. It's like maybe like, I don't know. It's maybe like 15 pages or 12 pages or something like that. I don't know. But I love the cover on this, man. This takes me back right here. I loved the ads on the back of the comics when I was a kid for the Evil Knievel stuff. I actually still have my Evil Knievel doll. Maybe one day I'll be able to, and I've got the helmet on it. I don't know if I have his boots. But maybe one day I'll pull it out and show it off. And that thing's like 40 something years old. So at any rate, guys, it's a long haul. Sorry about that. But so much for Wednesday's pickups, man. I've been rolling ever since Stockton Con. Got to give a shout out, man. ETA Nick, We Love Comics, Mob Medina, Big To Do, and Hero Hunter. Man, there's about 40 or 50 of you guys that I'm always watching. Keep up the good work on the hauls, guys, man. I'm following you guys. I watch probably about an hour worth of hauls a day when I'm just in between here and there, and I even have my phone set up so I can watch hauls while I'm commuting all over the place, and I'll have them going on the speakers in the car. So it's pretty funny with a little holster I have that if I look over I can see the book. So it's pretty cool. You guys are always throwing stuff out there I've never seen before, and that's the best part of this hobby is the discovery part for me and finding new things to go out there and take a look at. So, all right, guys, that's my haul. It's kind of massive. I didn't even realize it was that big for the last few days, but Detroit Madman, peace out.